Hello folks, here we are, Ditch Witch SK1550. I want to go over a few things that I so far like about this thing and don't like about it. Zeke, let's do a cold start on this sucker. Turn the ignition to on, dude, just to on. Yep, just turn it one click. We're gonna see what it does here. I don't know what it does when it's cold. So, this beep is loud as can be. I guess it's ready to go. It didn't need glow plugs or anything, so here we go. So this time of year, it's really important that any of your machines, you fire them up and let them warm up, right? All those oils, engine and hydraulic, are very thick and stiff essentially this time of year. And if you go in there and fire a thing up and go right to ramming and jamming, it's kind of like you waking up cold and stiff, right? Like your body's not really flexible yet and stuff, and you're gonna pull something maybe or whatever. Machines and the oils, especially the seals, all those kind of things are stiffer and more brittle. Even the metal in the engine, stuff like it. So let these things warm up, let them get up to their operating temperatures, all that. So let's open this up. We'll look at the Yanmar. All right, Zeke, you want to shut it down, buddy? All that moisture in there. Oh my. It's a Yanmar. I think it's a 40 horse engine. I don't even know. Isn't that terrible? All this emissions nonsense, it's a shame. I'll spare you my diatribe on that. I love the placement of this. I do not like that when you spin this thing off here, you're gonna make a lord awful mess in the engine. Like you're gonna stuff rags up under there like crazy to change that out. You know, the lights, like we said, I really like. The engine hatch release here, that's nice, that's convenient, that's pretty cool. Again, great engine oil filter access there. I like that a lot. I don't know what these notches are for here in the boom, other than maybe some vantage points so you can see your hitch plate a little easier. These have interesting hitch releases, or attachment plate releases. I don't know if I like those or not yet. That's kind of interesting. A few things here right out the gate, like I don't love, like there's gonna be a lot of stuff building up right here on both sides. Hopefully that's pitched at an angle to somewhat drain out, but there's gonna be a lot of material building up in here. That's kind of a bummer. The track system's okay. You know, anytime, you know, you wish they could cover this up somehow. I don't know how, but Lord, that's always gonna be full of stuff. The hub protectors are cool, but you imagine all the dirt's gonna get trapped in there. Yeah, again, a lot of these things are just unavoidable. The track tensioning system is pretty interesting. So that's a gauge. There's a gauge back in here. There's a gauge back in here. Ugh. This thing pops out of here. I'm not gonna bother pulling it out. But you can see there, you put it on the track, and if it's in the green, you're good. Otherwise, you need to add or take grease out of the track system, which is, that's pretty neat. That's pretty cool. But you can see, like, right here, all this buildup, that's really sucks. That's just a bummer, because that's gonna be always holding material and a pain to clean out. You know, your material just starting to build this up after being in the field for like a year. This is a 2023 with a 2022 manufacture date. Hydraulics, looks like pretty good access, all that, no big deal. Air filter replacement, I like that, that's cool. The engine light, the light there, that's cool. Hopefully gives you some light to see what you're doing. Maintenance chart up there, that's cool. I wonder what this is made to mount something. I don't know what. Maybe if you know, you can comment for me and let me know. I've been told you can do a larger attachment plate, like a full-size skid steer attachment plate for this thing. I didn't know that, but I wouldn't have opted for it anyways because I don't want the extra weight. It's just like your forks. You don't want super duper heavy duty forks on this thing because it takes away from your lift capacity, right? You can see here we've got our counterweights. The other thing that's kind of neat, this compartment here, your fuel lids are protected and all that, so that's kind of cool. I wish this was labeled a little bit better because somebody's gonna put diesel fuel in there someday, you know it. I'm not necessarily saying our company, but somebody will. A couple things here in the controls that I don't like. I love the dual joysticks. These are always really handy. You can tell our computer module here, that's our air filter. That's pretty cool. Charging port, that's always great. That beeper is really loud. Something all my guys have said so far, the joystick here is too close. I thought it was just because my hands are really big. but the joystick's really close to this here. The other ditch which we have, our SK750, is out here. It's just a little more on at your fingertips. If this keeps bugging the guys and everything, I will cut this off and weld it further back here. Wait, no, I mean I won't do that. Another thing that's interesting, this thing has a low, medium, high flow. So this high flow is for running like full-size skid steer size attachments. Our rep said to be sure to run it at low or medium, otherwise we'll blow up our Toro soil conditioner attachment. The brake is digital, or not digital, I'm sorry, but it's not a manual brake anymore. I don't love these plastic switches. I just feel like they're gonna get smashed off. The hydraulic engagement, so if it's backwards, you just lock it in there, and now your hydraulic attachment's constantly running. So if you're running a mower or a broom or something like that, you don't have to hold it with your foot, like on our 750. So I like that. That's pretty sharp. I like the 811 sticker. That's cool. The other thing too is this digital. You know, I just don't like any of the digital stuff, right? Because it's just going to be problems down the road for the next owner, right? All this digital stuff, all the wiring, but it's the way it is, folks. This switch, I can just picture this thing getting smashed off just really easily. I just know that's going to happen. I can't judge how it is. Very stoic of you. Thank you, Zeke. I appreciate that input. Keeps me grounded. The lights, again, I really love the lights. It's so nice. I can't tell you how many times on our other Ditch Witch S750, how often I wish that thing had lights. And I could put in some aftermarket stuff. Yeah, we're gonna fire it up here. It's all right. You're okay. Digital display, again, mixed emotions on that. This thing has a regen, which is terrible. Essentially, your engine just gets hot and runs hard till it clears its evil, wicked carbon. So that's modern diesels, folks. That's why modern diesels have so many trouble, so many problems. One of the reasons I wanted a new machine with a warranty, because let's see here. But that's the reason I wanted a new machine with a warranty, because I've heard of these things having so many problems. I don't want to get caught holding a bag on it. This was $60,000, so with a bucket and a set of forks. But other than that, the machine's real smooth. It's not as fast and responsive as our 750, but again, the 750 is a little machine, and it's direct control hydraulics. These are, I think, electric over hydraulic. I sound like I'm griping a lot about the machine. I'm really not. Everyone I talk to that has these, and it's a bunch of people, they love this thing. And we're going to as well. I know it because of its capacity, because of its capability. Those are all things we're gonna love. Now this digital control. I love the tachometer. I really do like that. That part's cool. I'll have to redraw it. But you can see the regen thing there, the air fart looking thing. Other than that, like I said, everybody I talk to has one of these, or I talked to a guy the other day, had 5 of these in his company. It's a great size machine. You literally can buy this and not have to get a full-size skid steer. I mean, there is something to be said for that, right? Now, the only thing about that is if you got a load-out dump truck, this thing's only got about a 7-foot hinge pin height. So you could load out like 5500s. You know, we can load out our 4300s, no problem. If you're gonna load out a dump truck, it's not gonna happen, right? So that would be the only thing of why, like, having a full-size skid steer you might need or whatever. But otherwise, I mean, it's a full-size skid steer in a walk-behind package. So Ditch Witch really did great with the 1550. The SK3000 is way too big, and then anything under the 1550, you can't pick up a full-size skid of pavers. So it just kind of is what it is. It's rated for 1,500 pounds. I know guys are picking up 2,300 pound skids of pavers with them regularly, so that's why we got this model. Otherwise, we'd have gotten another 750 or a 1,000 size machine. With that, let's move some hay, and then we'll go on to something else. Like I said, if you know what this is for, this mount thing, maybe a water tank for cutting, like at micro trenching and stuff they call it. Something else, I love this monster D-ring. That's pretty rad looking. Good bumper there, that's definitely cool. This might just be a protector for that grill. That grill's nice and thick, by the way. The one on our other machine's really thin and got beat all to death. So I really like that. That's cool. Let's look underneath it here. Lots of good clearance down here. I like that. Nice. So that part's definitely awesome. One thing too with all the emissions control stuff in this thing, They say you're best off with these modern diesels to run them full or high throttle. That keeps all that carbon filter bull crap from building up. You might keep that in mind. Okay, let's go. You know, they don't make any word about GoPros in these things. How frustrating. By the way, quick story here about our white trash barn situation. So I moved to this pole barn. I tore it down like, I don't know, 5-6 years ago when money was really tight. And I wanted a pole barn at my house, and this is a 30 by 30. Well, anyways, long story, we tore this thing down and moved it to my property. It sat for like 2 years or something. I don't even know. I was about to burn it. Long story short, got it going. Well, I was short on metal somehow for some reason or whatever the case is. But I had this metal. Okay, cool. We'll put this metal I have on hand up, and then we'll paint it, you know, immediately. Well, it's been, what, 3 years now, and it's looked like this, tackiness, whatever. So Britt bought paint. We're going to paint all the outbuildings, right? And she's like, I'm just going to do it one day. So she finally just takes the time to do it. And so she gets a paintbrush and a 5-gallon bucket of paint and starts painting this thing, and realizes quickly, this is the chicken coop, realizes quickly that this is not going to work. And abandoned ship on this job, and then we started to shop build, and that was every minute of our time while the rest of my house, you know, falls apart here. So as soon as the shop build's at a decent level of completion, the home front is getting, the house is in good shape, but all our outside stuff is just in terrible it just, everything looks awful. So that's that story there. So it's in the background, you know why. So okay, so with that said, we're going to take these hay bales and move them inside here. And yeah, another building that needs my work. But yeah, we moved this building. This thing was built in 1989, and then we moved it over here to my house and still haven't finished it. It's terrible. A land of 1,000 projects. Anyways, okay, here we go. Let's move some hay. Okay, so all in all, the 1550, it's a monster. For the machine and size, it'll replace a full-size skid steer as long as, and it's a small one, you know, like an 8,000 pound size skid steer, as long as you don't need the reach, the lift, right? Otherwise, it'll handle, you know, a couple 1,000-pound skids pretty easy. So that's what we like about it. That's why we bought it. And we're really looking forward to putting this thing through its paces here. So we'll, like I said, this is the initial thing. It's got like 3 hours on it or something. So I do like on these Ditch Witch buckets here, these eyelets for chain and stuff, and that's cool. Or fast chaining it down even, like that's pretty cool. So that's the initial thoughts. By the way, don't mind all my other side projects here. That's my trim that I'm gonna put back up on this building. Blah, 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 lots of plans this winter. Okay, we're out of here. Unilock Arcana bundles are 1,300 pounds each. This is 2,600 pounds total. I double checked my math there. Carried the one, like the whole thing. We'll see if the 1550 can do that. Now, granted, this is all clustered close to the hinge pin and all that, so that helps. We're spread out farther, which we'll do the double stack test too. What the heck? And we are downhill, so our tail end's downhill. That gives us a little more counterbalance. But we'll pick it up the other way too. What the heck? Let's see if it'll do it. Here we go. Holy cow, that's impressive. That's pretty cool. So that's 2,600 pounds. That is pretty impressive. You can see it's light in the tail end there. We'll drive it around. Well, let's put it down a little lower here first. That's pretty impressive. That's pretty impressive, I gotta say. So that's even downhill, 2,600 pounds. That's pretty impressive. Now I've got to say that is impressive. So that's 2,600 pounds elongated, if you will. Not manhandling it, of course, and you sure wouldn't want to be having to go down some crazy hills or anything, but that is impressive. I have got to say, that's the first time I've actually been impressed now with that machine. I wasn't real impressed moving that gravel, frankly. The hydraulics were shuddering a bit and stuff. I don't know what that's about, but that is impressive, man. That lift is no joke. I do want to show you the lights are probably one of the greatest things on this switch. Maybe the reverse, the backup lights are a little weak, but the front, that's nice to have, so I'm happy to have that. Things I think you should be thinking about, if you're not already, which I'd imagine you are, but a handful of bullet points here. Setting 2023 goals. It is time, if it's not too late already here, folks. It's mid-December. We need to be thinking about what 2023 is going to look like. What are our sales goals? What are our production goals? What's that translate to work in the ground per week? Yards mowed or pizza sold or bridges built, whatever. How do we achieve that? What's that really look like by the week? And so that way, too, you can start setting production goals for your team and figuring out, hey, we need to do, if we've got $100,000 as our sales goal next year, we've got to do, and we generally work 10 months, we got to do 10,000 a month, right? 2,500 a week in production to hit 100,000 in sales. Okay, cool.